Guys, are gonna read some onslaught and terror stories, and on the first one, an entire mom decides to get off the plane because there's no Wi-Fi on it. So yeah, let's get into this, and if you like it, consider subscribing. So yeah, a wonderful mindless, and its entire parents get kicked off the plane because the Wi-Fi isn't working. Hey everyone, I'm hoping that this is the right place to put my story. If not, thanks for listening anyways. I was working on a major airline in the US, a flight attendant, and this happened about 2 years ago. We were walking onto a flight in Oregon country to Denver, which is normally less than 2 hour flight. Important for later. I was one of the friend what the I was the one on the front of the airline greeting passengers as they came aboard. The very first person to come on the plane was for this particular flight was a family. Two early teen kids, their father and their mother in the forecast. They sit in the second row and the rest of the boarding goes totally normal. We even got to doors and shut it 5 minutes extra early, and we were all thinking about to go down and to the hot bar at the end of an eventful day. As we pulled away from the gate, I started making some of the normal I can't uh, announcement, so I know everyone actually pays attention to me, even when I say that the Wi-Fi isn't working. Honestly, it does suck when it happens, but there's nothing I can do about it. The mom rings her flight attendant call button, and when I look over to see her, I can see her frankly looking in her eyes and making me realize my peaceful day is coming to a bob end. I asked her what's going on, and she began telling me how she can't possibly be on a flight without Wi-Fi, how she has nothing to watch, and how she can not handle being on a plane, and looked dumbfounded. This is a woman in her at least 40s sitting next to her two children and her husband who was speaking about not having enough Wi-Fi for a 2 hours flight. But of course, I did not point anything out, any of this out. Instead, I put on my best customer service smile and apologized for an inconvenience. She then started crying and saying that she has to get off the flight right now. I asked her that if she's totally sure that she wants to get off the flight because we are still on the ground and it's possible to go back, but it's a pain in the butt to return to the gate. As her sobs continues, I realize that at this point, even if she wants to say there is no way I feel comfortable with her at a 40,000 feet. Wait, airplanes in the 40. Damn, that's a lot. That's high. So I have another crew member call the pilot and explain what's going on. I let her know that we're going to go back and that she and her family have empty plane. This is the part where her wonderful husband decides to get involved, and you know what? You would think that he is can console his wife, and he thought better. I know, start yelling at me, screaming that she was going to be fine and we don't need to go back. How I'm being one of the dramatic and wasteful everyone's time. After a very dramatic and wasting every time, I have a very awkward taxi back to the gate. I go back to the front so we can reopen the doors and all, while the husband is alternating between cussing me out and yelling at his wife. What? Once we finally get to the door open, I head back to the rail and ask them to deplane off to help them with their belongings. This is when the wife looks up at me and smiles, and this is the part where I know I'll never forget. I'm just gonna run up there and download a movie, and I'll be right back. I smiled at her and thought, you gotta be kidding me. We finally get them off the plane and into a slightly confusing hand of a gun supervisor. We quickly reclose the door, and I exchange shocked glances with the crew. Who realized after you made them and 130 other passengers turn around because she couldn't spend 2 hours of her family without Wi-Fi. Dog, that's stupid. You deadass don't need Wi-Fi, dog. Like, bro, you deadass could just do anything else, like sleep for 2 hours, dog. Like, you don't need internet, like, all the time. As I say this while using internet to recorders, but that doesn't matter. So anyways, let's just continue on to our next story. Hey guys, this is by Out of the Ordinary, and it's my fault your kids are brat. When I was around 9 years old, and my big sister around 22 or 23. By the way, I have 5 sisters, and they're a lot older than me, but the youngest is 20, and I'm 13 at this time. My big sister had 2 kids. At the time, BS for big entitled sis, older sis entitled B, EB, and youngest, baby. My older sister was adopted by my parents because my mom was a friend with her mom, and one night her mom was stabbed, so my mom adopted her. Damn, that must suck, bro. So my ES moved in with the family because she was having a divorce with the guy who nickname call was Didi. He was always kind to me, but he always cheated on my sister. When she found out, she was fuming and divorced him and took the kids, but she had no income. When she moved in, she took my room and I had to sleep on the couch for around a year or 2. But when I complained, my ES called me a brat and manipulated my parents into thinking I was in the wrong. I have many stories about her, but I'll take about 2 things that make me mad. So my ES was getting ready for the park, and there are on the couch that spins on and left there on the stairs, which was on the wall in the middle of the wall. So the wall, wait, what? Wall a little over there. Yes, had legs on the wall blocking the way down the stairs. Excuse me, very clearly, because if I talk normal tone, I would get yelled at. EB does nothing. Me moves her 2-year-old leg so I could get by. ES, who was tying her shoes that won't fit, pushes me into the wall, hitting my head on the light switch, makes me bleed, and I trip on ES' foot, making me fall down the stairs. ES, why did you not say excuse me, little angel, to my little angel who would have moved her foot? Me cries. I did, but your brat did not move, and I did not even hurt her. By the way, I was crying out. My mom runs to the room. By the way, we are Russian, but we translated what she said. Mom, what happened here? I don't know. Why is OP on the floor? ES, you're How is he racist? Like, I don't know. I'm not gonna question it. When he says back, I assaulted my child, so I pushed him on the wall, and he tripped on the cat and fell on the stairs. By the way, I think we had like 4 cats at a time, I think, or it might be 3. And my sister's black, and I'm white. Mom, go down the stairs or no more electronics for a month. What? I'm confused. By the way, EB started crying when ES pushed me on the wall. I don't know why. It did not really hurt her. Okay, story 2. Wait, why did your mom call you a bitch, dog? Like, go downstairs. No more. Like, dog, you're literally bleeding. Like, that's stupid. Okay, now on to story 2. I bought a toy handcuff. I don't know why I did, but I thought they were cool. When EB sees this, what happened? Yeah. Can I try them? Can I try it on? It's mine. Me. No, I just got it, and I think they're cool, but when I test it out, I'll let you play. Me, handcuffs went on. EB grabs the other part on the handcuffs and yanks it, cutting my arm, leaving 4-inch cut. By the way, I had a scar, and I measured it. It may be bigger. Me, excuse me. 1 second, I'll take it off, you can try it. It's mine, you bully, let me have it now. The handcuffs her to the table, leaving her stuck with no key. I left her for about 30 minutes until ES comes. You demon, did you do this to my baby? She did that too. ES beats me and leaves me with a lot of cuts and bruises and one nasty black eye. Funny thing is, EB could have even accompanied her the whole time. There were 2 keys. So when I showed ES and EB was the one in the fault, it was my fault that her kid was a bat because she learned off of me. My parents were off in California at the time, and I was in New York, left with my sister who watched me there. They never found out. By the way, I was laying on the couch for like 3 days straight from the pain, and healed off most of those cuts and a few bruises that came out back when I said, like, dog, like, yeah, but like, I don't blame you for hitting her, dog. Your parents did nothing to help you, and yet they blame you. Like, that's what pissed me off. Like, it's their sister's fault, and they blame you, dog. Like, yeah. Anyways, yeah. Let's go to our final story. Hey guys, our final story is by ISAP Eris, and it's he tested positive. So, as previously stated, I teach Rev Dead, and in my state, if you're under 18, you are required to be completed so you can get your driver's license. So piss off the driver's school is a general bad idea if you or your kid want a license before they graduate. This is about some of the royally screwed up due to a point where I was about ready to murder a family due to a couple students canceling their classes. Ended at 5:30 instead of my usual 10 a.m. Wednesday or 10 p.m. Wednesday. A few weeks ago, my office got an email about 6:05, 5 minutes after closing, informed us that the last student tested positive for COVID. Me personally, I was frustrated because it meant I couldn't spend my weekend with my family, as I only had one who isn't immunocompromised. Worse, my sister and nibblings couldn't get vaccinated due to history of back reaction to the vaccine, and their GP doesn't want them to risk taking it. I left their immune system. My boss and company owners were beyond pissed that they saw the next morning, as that means the company has to pay me to take a few days off and get tested after 5 days. Decided that half an hour to get test results was a bit shorter in the area cat. My one supervisor who showed up in an hour slash my assistant counselor started digging. According to the student's high school and their parents with them, his entire band had been tested previously Friday because the student had a band camp and positive results to the prior Tuesday. So they knew he had shown up for the first session and he was positive, and sent him to sit in the car with me for 2 hours. To say Kay flipped on top of understanding she wasn't happy about one of her instructors being put at risk, wasn't necessary. So she went to the nuclear route and started calling every driver school she had the number of and let them know about the family. She turned around and emailed the student mother, informed them a few things, highlight because it was blacked on email. He's currently being removed from the program as he hasn't finished online portions and currently in the program and it had been deleted from record. He would not finish his behind class real lesson. Other driving schools were aware of why we were refusing work, and her family would be followed suit. Finally, he would be kept at amount paid in advance of a lesson. If he chooses to take the case to court, it would be pointed out that she was normally violating our COVID safety rule, as well as stating guidelines and our safety and endangering my life as possible, and leaving students who would normally be in the car immediately after him. The following out was second from Candace Trinket. Apparently, she called the company owner, not sure how she got the number, and tried to scream him out. This doesn't go well as he's deaf enough so you could see the truck bomb next to him, and he would think it was a firecracker. He told her to call the office when he understood enough to know there was a problem with the lesson. Casey was screaming for half an hour about how we were destroying her son's life and he needed a license to have a job, and how would he take his sister to school if he couldn't drive. It was literally a threat to sue us for bankruptcy and all we own. I almost feel bad for the kid. If I'm not sure, the fact his driver test terrified me, and he had students that couldn't take a left turn or jump out of the curb on the left side on the road. I was confident to teach them they would drive. So yeah, minus $500 was it because the entire parent decided her baby learning to drive was more important than my health and hide potential fatal test results. Still no clue about why she sent an email to school second lesson, but the amount of outrage after we informed other parents on potential exposure made it nice to know that we were justified and felt victimized in the habit of wiping down the whole car, sanitizing between students. Yeah, this parent is stupid. Like, bro, it's the parent's fault. Like, the kid can't do it. So, this video is very long. I'm ending right here. Like and subscribe, share it, and everything. Peace out, guys.